Hello, I'm Cabinet, and welcome to the third edition of the Pokemon X podcast.
I am Lance Falcon. Welcome to the third podcast. I'm eating a sandwich.
And I'm Recon. Welcome to Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Yes, recently with the podcast, we've had a bit of an issue. Well, I've had a bit of an issue mostly. A very sweet guy we used to know who let fame go to his head, and has become a total asshole recently. Of course, I'm talking about Flippy the Puppet. After the last episode, a lot of the people on the forums wanted more Flippy, and it kind of went to his head.
He didn't mean to hurt anybody.
I know. It went to his head, and he wanted to renegotiate his contract where he was making $2,000 a podcast, and we just had to let him go because there's no way we could have done that, especially since we're not making money for any of the episodes. But it does light that, fame does really go to people's heads, and
so replacing him this week is Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher.
Flippy was Air Charlie Sheen.
You can now Ashton unfortunately cannot bother to get a microphone. However, He is live tweeting with us right now, so follow him on Twitter, and I assure you that everything he says is completely relevant to what we are saying.
Well, with that out of the way, I think we'll start off with an unanswered question from last week, and that was something along the lines of how did the famine affect Ireland? Okay, let me give you the short version of the story. 1 million people died, and then 6 million people, 5 or 6 million people, give or take, went to America. There you go. That's the famine for you.
For those of you on the forums who wanted to know about the Great Potato Famine, I hope you feel bad now.
From a hip young Irish perspective.
Yeah, that's more.
It was such a rat's ass about this kind of a stupid moment in their history.
In all fairness, people still say, "Oh, well, it's the famine," or blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, it happened 200 years ago. Get over it.
We were dependent on potatoes. We get it.
It's like, but people make a big deal over it. It's like, no, it's not. And who the hell calls it the Great Potato Famine? Thank you very much. Nobody calls it the Great. It's just the famine.
In our history books over here, it was called the Great Potato Famine.
That is stupid.
It's the Great Potato Famine, Charlie Brown.
No, but that's...
Oh, the Holocaust. It was called the Great Jewish Famine.
That's what we do. We can't eat potatoes. Womp 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 womp. Well, how many of us have to die? Womp 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 womp. Oh man.
That'll ruin Hanukkah for us all. But yeah, I was actually talking to somebody earlier on today about Irish history, and I can sum it up in a couple of words, and that is Celts. Celts, rebellion, famine, rebellion, Easter Rising, now we're here. That's the last 2,000 years of Irish history brought up together. So, there you go.
You forgot about the discovery of alcohol, which led to the downfall of your civilization.
Oh, yeah. It's
like farming, alcoholism, and then rebellion.
I figured like rebellion, alcohol, Great Potato Famine because nobody can farm because they're too busy drinking.
Well, you say that, but you have poutine, which is an alcohol made out of potatoes. But yeah, there's not much to Irish history, if anything, I find. Not that this was asked or anything, but I'm just going to tell you anyway.
What about the birth of Colin Bennell?
No.
What about Will Ferrell, his brother?
I like Will Ferrell. It's just that he plays him and the other guy, who I forget his name. They play the same kind of people in every movie, so...
Yeah, but I kind of like that about him, though.
Well, yeah, he's not bad, I'm just saying, it's, he's like that kid from Scott Pilgrim, who I hate. Not super bad, he was in, Mike Cera. I hate him, because he's just so awkward in everything he does.
Yeah, but it was perfect in Scott Pilgrim, because that was his character.
The thing is, though, in every film, he plays the awkward guy, and it's just really annoying.
I can understand that. But I like how people who confuse him for the guy who was like in Superbad and shit, they're actually good friends. They joke about that a lot.
I wasn't confusing with Super. I don't know my Sierra movies or whatever, so I just named a bunch of awkward kids,
Right.
a bunch of movies with awkward kids in them.
He wasn't Superbad.
Was he?
Yeah. He was Evan in Superbad.
I don't fucking know.
So there you have it. First of all, we're taking a question from noob guy, JCO. JCO. Sorry, a bit of a throat infection there. He said, who was Panda and why did he get banned?
Well, JCO knows who Panda was.
No, well, so I didn't say JCO. I didn't say JCO. I said noob guy. He was the person who asked the question, not JCO. Where did you get JCO with Recon? I don't know. It was definitely not JCO. I mean, we didn't look.
I'm just saying, JCO knows who Panda was.
Oh yeah, so if you want to, sorry, I see where you're coming from now. So if you want to know, ask JCO. Or Drav, or who else was around to say everyone that happened?
Panda.
Everyone.
Panda, yes, ask Panda. Ask Panda. Oh,
that's the rival sandwich maker company.
Oh, sandwich maker. Can we actually throw that anecdote out so people will know what we're saying in future?
I guess we were supposed to have a special episode where we just talk about Panda, but we should kind of split that up into like various stories. But we're going to start at the beginning.
Well, but sandwich. Oh, well, okay. Well,
I want to hear about sandwich making.
I first met Panda many years ago. I was once a man. Now I am a dragon man.
Dragon!
Yeah. Well. Hold on. I'm going to tell the story about the sandwich maker because I can. What happened was Panda was giving me a sob story basically, and one about, I don't know, it's about 6-7 months ago now, and then after a while he says wait, gotta go. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I just found it a bit odd that he left so abruptly and left out the conversation so abruptly. So when he came back,
my home planet needs me.
So when he came back, I asked him, well, why did you have to go? I mean, so abruptly. And he said, oh, well, my dad came in from work and he got me a sandwich maker, and I had to thank him. Now, it wasn't just that. It was just how happy he sounded after he got the sandwich maker. But apparently,
sandwich maker.
What he said that he had to get a sandwich maker, or his family had to get a sandwich maker for himself because he kept using theirs. So that was our second sandwich maker, I want to point out.
But, okay, can you explain what a sandwich maker is? Is this like you insert cheese in a slot B, put bread in slot A, and then another slice of bread in slot C, and they come together?
I'm not exactly 100% sure, but...
Here's what I think. Okay, I've seen sandwich makers. What it is a triangular-shaped grilling surface, sort of like a George Foreman grill. And what you do is you stick the already made sandwich in there and close the lid, and it grills you a sandwich. But here's the thing I don't get. Okay, if that was their second sandwich maker, does that mean that whenever he wanted to make a sandwich, he was sitting into their sandwich making time? It's like, sandwiches. There's a sandwich. And it's like, sorry, son, we're gonna have to get you your own sandwich because for you sandwich, we're trying to make a sandwich.
Take a ticket and get in line. How many times do I have to tell you about this?
Jesus Christ.
And you can keep it in your room next to your own refrigerator and your own bread box. And...
Yeah, that's the story about the sandwich maker. So before anybody else gets before anybody gets a chance to ask the question, well, what's up with the sandwich maker? There's the story. It's just like whenever I think of Panda.
It perfectly. If I can feel this really quick,
yeah, go on.
What I think you're trying to say. If you're ever, out in a bar in the middle of a town you've never been in, and for whatever reason, a stranger asks you, "Who is Panda?" Tell that story.
Yeah.
That was Panda.
It's whenever I think of Panda, I think of sandwich makers and vice versa.
And places exploding.
Yes. I wonder why that happened.
But that is a story for a different time.
Yes.
Dun 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 dun. Join us next time.
Where we're going, we won't need crappy wooden structures.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I think we'll move on to the next question then. What's the best meal you have eaten?
Who's that for?
I forget. I'm going to assume it was JCO, but I didn't take down the name.
These are some weird questions. They're like there's no consistency. It's like, who's Panda? What's the best meal you've ever eaten?
Wait, which one?
What can I fart onto the message board that they will answer?
But the bad thing is that we will answer because we have no other options.
Okay, but before we move on with the whole Panda story, we will, I think, maybe clue a little bit more each week. So stay tuned next week for more Panda. Same Panda time, same Panda podcast.
That's what we're just gonna rename it now. And
the Panda podcast.
That will be
I still think for our 10th episode we should just theme it around Panda as best we can. Even when it's irrelevant, we'll just have normal topics, but we'll bring Panda up.
Yeah, but before we start recording, we'll all buy a sandwich maker and have it sitting beside us. So at the end, we can have a toast to the sandwich to Panda.
Can I put Twilight Sparkle in the sandwich maker?
If you want.
You can, but
okay, really quick, just because. Oh, okay. Let's bring up our stupid sandwich question first, or whatever.
Hold on, real quick though. That does remind me. A lot of people, you might notice, the main page of the comic now has buttons for the podcast, which you can go to and listen to and subscribe from. It might be a bit glitchy because we're still working out some sound problems and issues with the RSS feed. But hopefully within a couple of weeks we'll get that all sorted out. Nice.
So for those of you who sit at the page day in and day out, just madly refreshing, hoping it'll update.
I will update as soon as I get a new laptop. I cannot make the next page because of the damn huge ass map file that it takes for that page. Because Route 111 is just a huge damn map, and my little mini HP cannot handle it.
You heard it here first, folks. Recon will update in 18 years.
Recon is literally loading coal into a furnace to power his laptop just to get the route up.
Just that whole non-animated animation of them putting on the masks killed his computer.
Yeah.
The whole scene of them putting on the masks literally bankrupted a third world country because the amount of coal he had to import from it. Don't know how that worked. Don't know how it worked. He was buying the coal off.
Our laptops run on electricity.
Shut the fuck up. Answer the next question.
Not where I was.
We're in Redneck, Georgia.
Yeah. Well, what was the best meal we've eaten then?
It's kind of an odd question. I still just
Yeah.
Arby's roast beef sandwiches.
It's good mood food. I don't know. I forget what it was called, but when I was in Georgia, I had one of the best burgers I've ever eaten. But I forget what it's called. But my all-time favorite meal would have to be chicken parmesan. Because, I don't know, I just love it. Not breaded chicken parmesan, I can't stress that enough. Just plain chicken breast parmesan. There you go.
Oh, well, I guess if I'm being more serious, I eat a lot of soup, because it's just, easy to fucking microwave and eat. But, Campbell's, Hearty, one of those Hearty cans, which is basically just their normal can now. But, a can of, their beef noodle with some rolls dipped in, it's actually pretty good.
And Recon?
I'm not sure. I mean, a lot of the food I eat is pretty awesome. Let me try and think.
Porter cake?
No, I honestly, for those of you who don't know, my friend came over, and I won't say her name because she might get mad at me.
Panda!
Yes, her name is Panda. We made a while back. We made the cake from Portal. Well, I can't say we. She mostly did it, and I just sort of stood there, and I was like, "Can I lick the bleeders? Here, I'll pour in the chocolate chips."
That in that voice.
Yeah. But I mean, that cake was really awesome, but I only really ate like one piece of it. It wasn't the best. I don't consider sweets really a meal. But occasionally my granddad will make like fried chicken, mashed potatoes, creamed corn, fried okra, like a big meal of just all these items. And usually every time he makes that, that is really delicious. That or when he makes very rare bloody roast beef.
Like he just brings in the cow and it's not even dead, and you just bite into it.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, we'll move
My
on.
granddad's awesome cook. I wish I could cook half as well as he does.
Instead, you just ask to lick the bowl that the cow.
But we just put it out of the dishwasher.
You should just kind of curl up and kind of like crouch a bit and just come up behind your grandfather, just like, Grandpa, can I lick the bowl?
It's shake and bake and aisle.
Okay.
You said crowd. I just pictured like me in Red Dead Redemption sneaking up on them to shoot him.
Oh God. Okay, so
We're gonna move on to our.
what is the most interesting thing you've done this week, and if you're really boring this month?
Oh.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't include this as interesting, but I got my Leaving Cert results. That was about it for this week.
I saw that.
Yeah.
How about you? What was your points?
It was 310. It wasn't. It's.
Oh. If that was like 200 points under, I would consider you like a huge loser.
Yeah. That may. It's just above average, really. That means I'm not going to be going to Dublin then. I'll be going to a local college. So, but I don't mind. It's better. I mean, at the end of the day.
Dublin.
Never want to go to Dublin anyway. Jeez. Dublin's just lame.
Go to sandwich making school.
Yeah.
Stop bringing up the sandwich.
I'll stop bringing up the sandwich when the start.
So how's things going with your? Oh wait, you said don't bring up sandwiches.
Yeah.
Actually, in a relevant conversation to that, I was telling Carol she should get a job at Subway so she can make me a sandwich.
I wonder if that was the whole reason they got Panda, that sandwich maker. Like, now you can be in the kitchen and make me a sandwich, boy. But since he's Australian.
Maybe they think Panda's a girl and they dress him up like a girl.
That's why it's called Panda. It's very feminine.
That's what I was thinking. No self-respecting male should go and sell Panda.
And that makes me a sad panda.
Says a guy who goes by Lance.
And he lives where the naked ladies dance. Unfortunately, those ladies are in their 20s. And they are very, very... Wait, I meant to say like 80s. What is it?
Unfortunately, they're in their 20s. What would you prefer them to be?
Unfortunately, they're not 5 years old. Oh, yeah! I just noticed I stood by Twilight Sparkle up and it's staring at me.
It's always staring at you. Anyway, I'm going to cut in now. Okay. So what were the most interesting thing you've done this week, month, or whatever?
Who'll answer me?
Both of you.
Oh, I haven't. This has been a very quiet week for me because I've had nothing to do. I think the most interesting thing this week would be getting Red Dead Redemption and to play with Cabinet. And Lance needs to jump on and play with us too.
You guys were. I think Cabinet was around for the Roughnecks, but the Roughnecks were out again.
I was. That was. How can you not remember that? That was when we first.
Yeah. Well, because I was back when I was playing with a lot of British people. You all sound the same to me.
No.
Anyway.
That was the first time.
Anyway.
Just hilarious. In that game, there was that character named Irish, and I just had...
I was calling Cabinet Irish whenever we would play together. I remember that now.
You still do.
Cabinet when we would play, just because it's the Irish, not because you sound anything like him. Your accent doesn't sound like him. His is kind of over the top, but it just because he's Irish, I just kept thinking this is Cabinet I'm talking to.
I hope.
But then we bit of the drink now.
And then.
Forgetting things about where I put her machine gun, and my lucky charms are magically delicious.
Regarding, I guess the most interesting thing I've done this week was I turned 18.
Let's leave now. No, I don't know why I cheered.
At the same time, however, right when it rolled over to, August 17th, I was riding in the back of a convertible Mustang with the top down, while blasting the Catherine soundtrack.
Oh, what seat did you take?
I was in the middle. Oh, god damn it! Yeah, we made that same joke, yeah. But that's the question. Actually, yeah,
that's my next question.
It was a really good birthday. Got a lot of really cool things. I got a Doctor Who DVD. I got Halo Risk, which is actually exciting. Pretty much. Well, actually, it's based on Halo Wars. It's based on Halo Wars, but whatever. Okay. I got a Twilight Sparkle plush toy from Target, which is actually about the size. It's about the size of my laptop. It's pretty big, but it's really fucking scary because it's the way its eyes are. They're derp. Yeah. But the way that the doll is made, you can't really tell unless you're thinking about it, honestly. But the way that its eyes are, no matter where the fuck you put it, it looks like it's looking at you. So, in the middle of the night, I was reading creepypasta, both good and bad, and I would look over, and I had the doll stood up, because you can kind of pose it, so I had it standing just looking at me from the side. So I was just, fuck you, and I pushed it over, and then I went back to reading for about another half hour, and it was a jump scare creepypasta, this one. So JPEG's jumping out at me, and I'm like, well, that's not scary, god damn it, I hate those, and I look over, Twilight, the way she fell, is looking right at me in the same way as if she just, like, hovered into as if she just laid on the ground. Not like I tossed her anywhere. And so I'm like, fuck it, and I'd grab her and I'd turn her around so she's facing the other way.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
Shut up. I put her down and I faced her the other way and I look at her. I'm posing her right now and I can see her eye and it looks like it's looking right at me, even though she's looking the complete opposite way.
And then Lance is like, "Don't look at me!"
It's like that, and then finally, before I went to bed, I stood her back up so I could, because the way I was laying, I wanted to put my arm out. So
this is like music that's like.
I stood her up again and I go to sleep on well, I pulled an all-nighter, but all-nighter. Last night when I went to sleep, I had her stood up. And when I woke up this morning, I forgot that she was there. So when I was getting up, her legs are really loose. So she started vibrating. I thought she was
good night, everyone!
Jostling. And I thought she was fucking walking toward me. And I just fucking like screamed a little in my head. So this doll is really fucking scary. And it's only $19.99 at Target at the Canner Lot set. You should totally buy it.
Go buy your kids one.
Buy me one. Buy me a ticket to Minecon.
I also for my birthday, thanks to a lawsuit, I got $7,500, as well as last night I got $367. So
can you talk about the lawsuit, because I'd like to hear about that.
Okay, so when I was about 7 years old, there was a college bodybuilder kid who lived down the street. Anyway, so this guy he's fucking huge. I mean, even compared to me nowadays, if he still lived here. He was a big fucking kid. I think he like just turned 18, but he'd been like working out for like, I don't know, his entire fucking life. This guy was
he was 18.
Right?
He'd be working out for 19 years of his life.
Yeah, he was fucking big. I mean, both naturally and just with muscle. But he was picking people up to show off how strong he was, and I was all excitable. I was like, pick me up, pick me up. He was like, okay. He picked me up. And then as a joke, he was, I don't know if they have this over in Ireland or even where you live, Cabinet, but, or for Recon for that matter. What it is there's like yards, your front yard, right? And then there's the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Front yard, then sidewalk. And then before you get to the street, there's like, in between of just, grass, or, for us it's just dirt, but there's like a sort of, space between the sidewalk and the street.
You've got like yard, footpath, yard. Kind of.
Yeah. And so, like, mini yard is the government's, but yeah, it's there. Anyway, back before it was just dirt and it had actual grass on it, no one on our street wanted to take care of it. He was aiming for that, so he was aiming to arc me over the sidewalk and onto the grass, and he tossed me. I went straight down and landed on my arm.
Mm.
And it broke in like 3 places, I believe. When I cracked my right wrist, it sounds like, how Bart cracks his wrist and it sounds like a cement mixer? It's just like that. So, with pain and shit. By the way, fun fact, when I'm in pain, especially when I was a kid, my fight or flight instincts kick the fuck in. I would just run. I would run. I don't know why. I don't know if I was trying to run it off. I don't know why. when I broke my arm, I live on like a horseshoe-shaped street, like a giant U. I ran around the entire. What?
No, that wouldn't be a cul-de-sac. That'd just be like a street that.
Yeah, it bends into a U that just goes. Like we have a highway that splits off onto the U, and then the U comes back to that highway. So I ran the entire circumference of that U.
With a broken arm.
The broken arm at the age of 7 until an adult, a neighbor across the street grabbed me and brought me home.
Kid! Oh, yeah.
At which point I slept. I think I slept a night before we went to the hospital. Though my memory is fuzzy as shit. So from the pain. Oh, I could be wrong. I do remember watching Pokemon the first movie immediately after breaking my arm to try and calm me down.
Why does this feel like I'm on an acid trip? What the hell's wrong with this movie?
But but my family sued the kid who did it, and over the course of every other year, I'm gonna be getting intermediate amounts of money until I'm 21. At which case, I think the total amount of money is about. I think it's like $30,000.
Damn. I honestly
who just made that noise in the background?
I did not expect this whole story to be that dark, to be honest. I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. I'm fucking happy to tell this story after telling. Stop staring at me!
I've broken my arm 3 times. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast.
Fell on the snow really hard.
No, I fell off a swing once, and this taught. And one time I was playing. This is the one I was going to talk about. I was playing catch with a couple of people in school, and.
But you were playing catch with them, or you were playing catch with them?
I was playing catch with them, and during
swing.
No, during one point, I
picking up a friend and throwing him to another friend.
Whoever was on pushed the person they were trying to catch. That person then fell on me, and I fell awkwardly or whatever, so my arm broke. And I remember because I was.
So you fell like Michael Cera.
Yeah. So damn you. I fell and I was, I broke my arm, and I know what it was like. So I was like, my arm was broken. Ow, just get me to a doctor or whatever. Like I was like 9 or 10, not even. I was like, my arm's broken. I was like, no, it's fine. Like, it's okay. It's not broken.
My arm's broken. Call me an ambulance. Okay, call an ambulance.
That's what I was more or less like, except without the crappy joke. And I went into the office, and the office person was like, yeah, this guy's arm's definitely broken. I was like, yeah, told ya. Because that's what I was like as a kid.
I think the earliest time I broke my arm was when I was like, I think a toddler, and I was trying to escape from my playpen. And the way the story is told, I had dismantled most of the playpen before I tried to escape. And I love that story because it makes me think, it's like, yeah, it's not like me. I take stuff apart and I'll put it back together. But I can just picture me with like a small screwdriver set, like at about maybe like 2 or 3, just like tediously working on the things just to escape. And then I had fallen out and broken my arm. And the other time I broke my other arm, I think was tying a jump rope to a doorknob for some sort of elaborate contraption.
I always hated hospitals because I'm a squeamish person.
Oh god, I hate hospitals when they they traumatize me because when you break your arm or any bone, they try to realign it.
Yeah.
They just
oh god.
try to realign it. They're like, this won't hurt, I promise. You'll be fine. Yeah, it is exactly like that noise you just heard. They're like, it won't hurt. The guy's like, you're on anesthetic, it won't hurt. And I'm like, no, it gave me anesthetic. And they're like, how old are you? I'm 7. He's like, oh, okay. Then he just cracks it. At that time when I'm not paying attention,
there was
like, you motherfucker.
Oh, well, you're too young for anesthetic then. Like, yeah. So, and then, oh, why'd you do that? Oh.
I've been in more than my fair share of hospitals in my life, and every time I go in, I have to take a 20-minute break. I have to go every 20 minutes. I have to go outside, and I have to nope, can't do this, and I have to hate it. I'm really squeamish and I hate it. Yeah, but anyway, but what we'll talk about now is what we were supposed to talk about.
Thundercats. A lot of you probably know that Cartoon Network picked up. They're doing a new Thundercats, which I was a fan of the original Thundercats because it was on when I was a kid. I had this crappy little plastic sword of Omens, and I had the toys, and Thundercats was really awesome. And then I was like so worried they were gonna really screw it up, And they had some good points and they had some bad points about the new show. It's going to be on Fridays, I think 7 p.m. Central. But one of the best things they've done in the new Thundercats is Snarf cannot talk.
Oh.
Yeah, if there's one thing, I don't know much about Thundercats because it was never on when I was a kid. My cartoon days were filled with.
You had Potato Cats.
No, I had Ed, Edd and Eddy and Johnny Bravo and Courage Cowardly Dog, and that was all I ever needed.
Pretty good shows, though.
Yes, I loved them. I loved them so much, especially Johnny Bravo.
You do for love.
I need to find them and get them. But anyway, Thundercats. But I just remember seeing like clips of it, and Snarf was the cat thing, right?
Lionel, we better run! Snarf, Snarf,
Yeah.
Lionel!
I love when in the South Park parody of him, there was a scene where he just kept saying snarf. He's like, what are we gonna do? Snarf, 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 snarf. That's pretty much all he would say that you would ever remember.
Yeah, but now Snarf's the equivalent of a Pikachu. He's there to look.
Aww.
He only says his name. Wait, no.
That makes me sad.
He makes noises like meow, meow, but occasionally you'll hear a Snarf.
I want to hear nothing but snarf. I want an episode where every line of dialogue is snarf.
It's Snarf with like random other animals. It's like that episode with the Pikachu and the other Pokemon where they're trapped on the island, and you can do what they're saying.
Yeah. I remember I used to love watching the Pokemon like anime. That and Dragon Ball Z were the shows that were always on directly after school, so I'd always watch them when I went home.
Yeah, that's marketing, right? Not marketing. That's good. Like
yeah.
But
anime did not grab a hold of me.
What I had liked about the first episode was the guy who was the original voice of Lion-O was the voice of Lion-O's dad.
Oh well, that's okay. That's actually pretty cool.
The new voice of Lion-O is what's his name? I think it's Friedel.
Michelle Bachman.
Will Friedel. He was the voice of Barry McGinnis in Batman Beyond, and the voice of Ron Stoppable on Kim Possible.
I never liked the Batman Forever, wasn't it?
Batman Beyond. The
Batman
anime.
Beyond.
Not the cartoon.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's pretty cool.
I just preferred the like 90s animated series.
But
still do.
I was hoping it did show the Thunder Kittens, I guess their name, that's what they're called. I was hoping they wouldn't be main characters, but they are now, and now it just showed like in the last episode Panthro joined them, so they've got like I guess the full cast now. But I mean, there's been some one of the episode before last week kind of but the episode I think that happened last week was pretty good. But I'm still kind of on the fence whether the show is going to be good or not. I don't know if it'll hit a second season.
It's not as consistently good as, for example, another show that was rebooted, such as My Little Pony.
My Little Pony, My Little Pony.
The thing about this one is they're okay. They, in the original Thundercats, their planet was destroyed, and in this one, it's not that their planet; it was just their kingdom, and they're traveling on they're still on their home planet, but their kingdom was named Thundera instead of their planet. And that was destroyed, and they're kind of roaming around, and like each episode, it's just kind of like you can air them in any order really, except for like I guess the one that didn't have Panthro, because I think from now on you can air them in any order because the stories aren't like a consistent.
Yeah, so it's like just a mishmash
I
of like.
forget. Do they like water?
No, cats. They're cats and they're lightning, so therefore they do not like water.
Okay, I just needed clarification.
Water would
speak.
Well, technically they're not lightning; they're thunder, which means they're a sonic-based race.
So what you're saying is they've got to go fast.
Shut up.
Go!
No, it's like, have you seen that like crayon drawing of Sonic? I'll post it in the thread once we've got it. It's like this just crayon drawing of Sonic, and he's just like a ball with legs and an arm, and he's just like hobbling across with a dead man stare, and then written like in child like handwriting in the top corner, gotta go fast. It's the funniest. I don't know why it's so funny, but it's just I look at it and
I don't know if it's gonna sound like this when the podcast is released, but so I don't know if you people at home are gonna be able to hear this, but Cabinet's microphone lagged when he said fast, and it sounded very creepy.
Gotta go.
It was like, gotta go fast.
But yeah,
Also,
I'll post in the thread once it's done. This will be like, but I think we'll discuss the show that everybody wants us to talk about. My Little Pony. I think we have actually great. I think we have a
Lance
great.
is our resident Uber Brony.
Yeah,
Hold on, I just saw that gotta go fast picture. Okay, that's horrible.
I'll post in the thread.
But actually, on the subject of Dead Man Stairs, just before we get into any pony topics, I would like to bring up if you follow go to the Serious Jupiter art thread in our fan art page, look at that Macargo and see all faith in the universe die.
It's 11.
It's a good picture, great picture. Just that Macargo. God damn it, say it again.
It's 11.
That Macargo wants to die. But,
yeah.
Like, it begs for it. Just look at its face. Anyway,
This is
on
what
the
it's
subject of
wearing.
ponies,
Wearing purple.
on the subject of ponies, a lot of people got in a hubbub yesterday because on YouTube, nobody knows for sure what's going on.
How is the network that shows Little Ponies? How about and that sort of means like they are in a like distressing situation. I get it.
That was unintentional, but thank you, greased up man from Ireland guy. Anyway, I meant to say Borneo. So on YouTube, some of our users may be aware of this. Episodes, like the full episodes, not pony-related videos, but just episodes on YouTube, were being pulled, and the reason would be copyright. But the reason that would be given would be copyright. However, Hasbro on the official My Little Pony page didn't give a yay or a nay. That was a pun. Whether or not it was them. So according to Equestria Daily and everyone else right now, it's probably just 4chan being 4chan or something, trolls being trolls. But yeah, a lot of episodes got deleted apparently. And Hasbro was like, well, you can buy them on iTunes at any time, and that kind of just upset people a little bit more.
Well, they can't. Well, in Hasbro's defense, they can't exactly come out and say, well, there you go, just upload them. Like, I mean, there'd be like a whole host of legal. There'll be a whole host of legal issues. Like, if they said,
that's really what it comes down to.
However, Cabinet.
Go on.
There is, but Hasbro has actually endorsed the posting on YouTube.
Like in writing specifically?
Not in writing, but they've encouraged it, both employees, and they've never faced any hubbub about it, and if anything, they've defended bronies before.
Well, I'm just saying,
if they were actually cracking down or something on the posting of episodes, then that's the time when they should have made a statement on their page, but they didn't, is the thing. So that's why it's believed that it was probably trolls being trolls. If they were taking episodes off and they wanted them to stay off, then they would make a statement about that. And I'm sure most bronies would actually listen to it. It's the hardcore ones that, jerk off to Pinkie Pie that would, but...
Yeah.
Oh, and on a related note to that, one of my friends, who you can follow on Twitter as, trying to look it up right now, what the fuck her name is. Whatever, she's a talent artist. Steve Holt is cool on Twitter. She is my friend Jackie. She runs a Pinkie Pie account or something on Tumblr, and I guess she draws Pinkie Pie pictures or something. I don't know, I haven't looked it up. My friend Carol, my girlfriend, told me about this. And apparently, every day she gets requests from the same, 3 people asking her to draw a Pinkie Pie candy badge.
When are you going to put dragons and Pegasi and on your drawings? And
Well, there's a difference between that and just drawing porn. It's a PG account that I guess has.
Does it really matter at the end of the day? I mean, this
depends on your moral standing. Like Equestria Daily does not, other than cupcakes, because no one would shut the fuck up about it. They don't post anything with gore or porn.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
I want to see the My Little Pony gore.
It's a terrible, everybody's like.
Imagine Saw, but with ponies, and that's
yeah.
Imagine Saw with every serial killer cliche from Bondi to Geen thrown into one big soup, and then they throw in a handful of Jigsaw from Saw.
And they throw in a bunch of stupid pictures of
and then finally, a box set of Criminal Minds, and that's Cupcakes basically. It's just so it's just.
I want to get Red Dead Redemption to the PC now and make like My Little Pony skins. Oh, make My Little Pony skins with the horses and then put them like on train tracks.
Yeah, we're gonna. I think the reason why I thought that the topic would be good. I mean, apart from everybody suggesting it, I think all three of us have a good balance between how much we like the show. I mean, I personally watch a show, and that's about it.
I've seen some of the episodes. I mean, it's a good show, but I'm not going to be like as hardcore of a fan as Lance.
And then you've
I consider myself hardcore at a respectable level of hardcore. Like, I'm not like, I don't know if you've seen Brony's, I'll link it in the, I don't know if it's already been linked in the Pony thread. I'll check before I post it to our podcast thread for this episode when it's up. But, there's a Flash on Newgrounds called Bronies, which pretty much sums up the hardcore furry Brony fans, in which they, raid toy store aisles and pretty much just masturbate to ponies.
Raid or raid?
It doesn't matter. Take your pick. But
there's just some people who get into stuff like it happens with everything, and they're just the kind of people who you look at and you're like, why?
It's like I'm a really big fan of Gears of War, but there's a fuck ton of obviously dumbasses who just it gets to a point where there's just a stereotype that all Gears fans are stupid.
Mm.
And I think that every fandom has those people who just kind of make it look bad for the rest of us. Like, if you go to Friendship is Magic Jan, there's a disclaimer on the front that's like, I don't know what bronies have done to you if you're here and you don't like bronies, but we don't represent the community. We're just a bunch of people. We're not a whole hive mind. And I think that pretty much sums it up right there, that, there's just people who fucking suck and they ruin everything for everybody. Yeah. It's a great, powerful Trixie.
I'm not supposed to be talking anymore about Panda for this.
Oh, God. By the way, I just want to point it out really quick. I don't know how long we're going to keep talking about ponies, but I just want to point out really quick. Don't know when it's going to go up, but I'm writing a pony story that will be posted on our forum. It stars the great and powerful Trixie, and she encounters the Weeping Pegasus and the Slender Mane. So yeah, there you go. There's a teaser. I'm
gonna throw it out to you that I'm gonna be honest with you. That sounds as corny as all hell.
Exactly. It's actually meant to be corny.
All right, let's
if you're doing it slightly ironic, anyway. But
it's not. No.
Slightly erotic.
Ironic. Ironic. You can't see it, but
it's a parody of
ironic.
You can't see it. In our text chat, I just got a slate of no.
On Equestria Daily, they have a disclaimer about Doctor Who stories, about how they have just, after Doctor Who was named, they got like a bajillion of them, and I read a couple of them where they're just stupid, but Trixie's story is mostly a parody of just the silly stories that try to come up with these epic adventures for the ponies, but they always fall short, so pretty much I just took the lame plot from like a Sci-Fi Channel original movie and added a great and powerful Trixie to it, and added a bunch of fan characters that fans have named, like the Weeping Pegasus and Slender Mane. It's meant to be stupid, but I'm trying my best to make it stupid and yet not a total holocaust. So look forward. I just noticed, by the way, this Twilight plushie, the way her mane is done, it looks like she's a punk rocker. It's kind of cool though.
Put a flower in her hair.
No, she's like Scootaloo and Twilight Sparkle had fucking sex, and then we got this thing.
There's your next fanfic.
I love when a question, dude. They're like, sex is not okay, but shipping is, and I'm like, well, I'm sure that's half your content now.
Can I point out that I'm after like having a quick look at Twitter there, and I'm after getting a thing from QI. Well, just an update. In Irish, Ord means both religious community and sledgehammer. And I want to know that I didn't know that Ord meant either of those things, so shows how much so much Irish I know.
Shut up, Irish.
I'm not good at Irish.
I found it funny though, like that part in Red Dead where there was Welsh and he's the one who kept saying boyo.
Yeah.
Well, boyo. No, that just brought me back to to LA Noir.
Boyo me boyo, boyo, boyo. The boyo, the alcohol, the boyo. Yeah, if you haven't played...
We gotta wrap this up the next 10 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
We're keeping track, Lance.
Alright.
Lance has to be somewhere in a few minutes. He has to go, I don't know, wrangle.
Well, but we started exactly, like, about an hour ago, so...
Usually, like,
Yeah,
it's like every podcast, Lance has to leave early.
Yeah, there's always some fucking thing. I just had to go and had my birthday this week. I'm such a dick.
Yeah. We could have had, like, special happy birthday Lance episode.
No.
Yes, but no.
No.
We were gonna
I don't deserve
we were
that.
gonna do a cake, and
I really don't deserve that. I'm not that...
we were gonna hire a male stripper to give you spankings.
Okay, that would have been nice, but... no, if we had, like, a tribute to Dave or something, that would make more sense than the fucking podcast of Lance. That's stupid.
Okay, I'd like to discuss another issue. All three of us will be starting college pretty soon.
Oh, yes.
And it might make podcast recording a bit difficult.
Oh, if you're worried about the podcast, you better be fucking worried about the comic.
So chances are, like, might slow down to like an episode every 2
If it's gotta get to
weeks
the
to a
point where Cabinet turns on the podcast recording thing and then goes to bed and I'm just by myself, we will do that.
Yeah.
I don't think we want to do that.
Yeah, it'll be
Might forget you're being recorded.
No, I'll record it in video and I'll upload it to YouTube.
You'll hear something like, oh, okay, I guess Cabinet went to, okay, well, I'll just watch an episode of My Little Pony, and then all of a sudden...
And then... That's all you hear.
I'm just gonna look at this picture again.
I'm just gonna look at the picture again.
Oh yeah, black people.
Oh my good god. I'm making a bonus video and I'm just gonna like throw that in over that audio in over that picture.
Oh yeah, black.
Well, I'm getting my badass laptop hopefully next week, which will be 8 gigs of RAM, a 1 terabyte hard drive, i7 processor.
Oh, will it be able to play Minecraft?
I hope so.
Did you see that? I posted on your Facebook like, oh, will it be able to run Minecraft? And people were actually taking me seriously, even though I did it like in a real like messed up typing like sense, and then afterward I wrote like a semi-intelligent response like, oh, blah, blah. But then people were still taking me serious, like, well, if you know, if it doesn't do that, I was like, I didn't message back, but I was like, come on, do you not know when somebody's being sarcastic? Especially...
Yeah, I like how someone was like, this is good if you're like a 3D renderer, and I'm like, I am a 3D renderer.
Oh, okay. Look.
And I'm really excited for it. The only thing I don't like is the color of the laptop, and I'm probably going to get a skin for it. I want to get some sort of like not Nerf armor. I don't know, it's like a plastic armor you can get for your laptop.
Nerf gun.
Just tape a Nerf gun to your laptop so that when it approaches the ground, it fires with enough velocity to just save it.
No, it fires with enough velocity so that when it'll bounce back up and you can just...
Funny enough, they have like little Nerf, like USB Nerf shooters that you can plug into your laptop. They're usually for like
Think Geek.
I seen those in...
I love Think Geek.
Oh, Twilight. Thanks to Think Geek, I'm getting so much Doctor Who bullshit the next couple weeks.
I've never heard of Think Geek. I'll
link you.
I've seen them in PC World. Don't go to PC World. It's very overpriced and really bad. But
I don't even know what the fuck PC World is. Is it a planet populated by PCs? Is it a planet made of PCs? Is it a giant PC? I don't know.
It's just a shop.
It's all of those things and more.
Yeah, but it's not. It's like I saw there was like you buy they sell Xbox and games or whatever, and you buy like a 3-year-old game for like €80, and like no. It's just stupid. Why haven't you marked your price down? No.
So €80 is it like what? How
your average game is 55 to €60.
Your average lame.
Yeah, I remember when I went to go get Red Dead Redemption from GameStop, I was looking at the new versus used, and it was like used $34, new $38.
Oh shit.
I was just kind of like looking back and forth, going, I mean, the $4 extra. At least I'm not getting one that's got a scratch on it.
You're looking at it. Catsup.
I have to find that on YouTube now.
Catsup.
We can't end this podcast until I find this clip, you bastard.
It's supposed to go somewhere soon, Lance.
I don't care. I have about 6 minutes.
Well, I'll point this out then. If you want us to talk about, this is what we do when we have next to no topics to talk about. So, if you want us to talk about something half productive, throw us topics.
To give topics. If this is boring to you, blame yourself.
Yes.
You want us to give us things to talk about.
Blame yourself because obviously did not. None of you sent us any topics for this week. We had to use ponies that was suggested a month ago.
Didn't even go there.
I was nice and didn't bring up ponies last week when I really wanted to.
So. You brought it up a bit.
I brought it up a little bit, but not as much as we did this week.
And even then,
we dedicated a good 10 or 15 minutes to ponies. I think that's plenty of time.
Anyway, but yeah, so at the end,
I'm probably gonna hopefully update before next podcast.
Next week.
Any big revelations gonna happen? Are we gonna find out what Rocky's true birth name is?
Rockefeld.
Lavernius.
It's he who scratches with left leg.
He's
is it as big a revelation as Pinkamena Diane Pie was?
I almost did a spit take. I was taking a drink of my water, and I was almost like,
the hell?
Oh, Twilight, you're the only one who understands me. Hug me.
Yes.
See, this doll is tough. I could put a strap-on dildo on.
I think that's a perfect way to end this. I've been Cabinet, and trying not to listen to us next week. We promise.
This is
Did you say try not to listen to us next week?
I was going to say try not to stop listening to us, but then I realized, wait, no, that's stupid. So, so tune in next week for something that's not as bad as this, probably.
I'm Lance Falcon. It's been real, and at least this time my dog wasn't born at the end of the podcast.
Anyways, hope you guys join us next week. Now that we're getting things sorted out with the iTunes, it should be a bit easier for people to listen. I think I still need to fix the first podcast of it. It's having some audio problems when it's downloaded. But I'm Recon Die. Next week, hopefully, if I get my laptop pretty soon, we might have a comic page.
And we can talk about that for an entire hour.
Yes, and another saga in the Panda saga. another episode of the Panda saga.
I'm waiting.
Feel free to ask for a specific story, though we'll probably just pull one out of our ass that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
But you can go ahead and recommend a story if you guys want.
Okay, well, thanks for listening. Thanks for suffering through it, and
bye.
Goodbye.
It'll be more interesting next week.
Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow.